Live. I hope you have your cup of coffee. I have mine. Today, very exciting. Very exciting. I'm going to talk with Sean Kanan, good friend of mine, and I could go on and on. I could do the show about just talking about how awesome he is. Stick around because Sean Kanan's coming on. Karate Kid 3, Bold and Beautiful, and of course Cobra Kai, and many other projects that he has done and what he's done. Studio City, which he I'm so amazed and so happy that he put me in. Lots coming up. We're going to talk about it. He has a class that he has that's going to happen. No questions yet until I get Sean Kanan on. It's going to be fun. I'm good. And he'll be here in a moment, and we're going to talk a little bit about the industry, the state of it, hey, maybe a little bit of Oscar talk. And from there, we're going to talk to you about two things. Number one, Sean's class coming up on Sunday, which is awesome. And of course, our Thursday, we have a Thursday Zoom we're doing by invitation only. So make sure you're there for that. I see a couple people out here. Good. I'm going to wave to you. If you're an actor and you're out here, there he is. There's Sean. I'm going to wave to him, and I'm going to see about getting him in here. There he is. And hang tight, Sean Kanan. You are coming up soon. I forgot how to do this. Here we go. Request to join. We have nothing. Hold on a second, Sean. I love this. Yeah. Okay, Sean. I hope you have your... There you are. And there we go. Hang tight, everybody. Sean Kanan, my good friend. There he is.
Did I
What's
do
up,
that right?
brother?
You are the most tech savvy guy I know, and I knew that you were not going to let Instagram, call the shots with you. How are you?
Take me down. Yeah. Hey, lower your camera. I hate seeing you have more hair than me.
Lower my. It's good lighting. Good lighting and Botox, pal.
God. Hey, yeah, just a little bit lower because I have
Oh,
like this part.
like that?
Here's what I have on you right now. I have that. There we go. You're better.
Are we good now?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
first of all, good morning, my brother.
Good
How are you?
morning, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
You're like the only guy I know who's like as busy or busier than I am.
I don't know about that. Maybe I'm just, it's one of those things. It's like, I play a doctor, but only on TV. I look busy, but only on social media. Um,
I don't know about that.
I don't know either. So first of all, welcome to this Instagram Live.
Thank you.
We're pumping a couple of things here that are very important, but I want to talk about why. First of all, on Sunday,
Yeah,
you
this
have,
Sunday.
tell us about your, yeah.
So this Sunday, I'm having another one of my acting dojo seminars. It's on acting and the business of acting, and I actually just created a discount code for
It's right there.
you and
I
everybody
pinned
on.
it.
Cool, man, 20% off. So look, guys, here's the thing: the acting business has never been more difficult, and they expect that you're going to be a good actor walking in the door.
Yeah.
So we're going to deal with a lot of strategy and philosophy about the craft of acting. Okay. I'm going to teach you some stuff that has allowed me to sustain a career for 40 years. But we're also going to talk about the business of acting. You
Mhm.
have got to be able to think like a business person in the entertainment industry if you are going to make the leap from somebody that's just auditioning but not gaining any traction to somebody who is starting to really build a career with depth and width and longevity.
Yeah, let me interject something really important. I think that you said that I've been saying this for years, and we're on the same path in the sense that I've been telling people that the problem with the creative world, actors and even filmmakers, is that they don't understand that the word show business has the word business in it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and what you
I think a lot of times people think that if they concentrate too much on the business aspect, that it somehow dilutes their integrity as an artist. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people working in restaurants and serving food, and there's nothing wrong doing that, who are artists and they're not working in the business. because of that mindset. And that is a limiting mindset. And it's a story that I think a lot of actors tell themselves.
Hmm.
It's kind of like the same thing when you hear like a lot of old rockers say, I had so much trouble getting sober and I did drugs and alcohol for so long because I thought it gave me my edge. It gave me my creativity. It's a fallacy. You
Yeah.
must understand how the business works. And as somebody that is an Emmy Award winning producer and in the PGA, as well as an actor. I work on both sides of the camera.
Yeah.
Well, you worked with me on Studio City,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that has afforded me a really unique perspective, so that I understand what it takes to get hired as an actor and what the people who are doing the hiring are really looking for.
Right. Let's take this apart just a little bit because I think there's a very base level thing that you said that people, like you said, they don't grasp. And that is that, look, I mean, whatever business you start, one of the biggest problems is that a lot of people go, oh my gosh, I'm so good at this. I'm going to start a business doing this. But what they don't understand, especially in our businesses being actors or behind the camera, is
Mhm.
that you can build, you can, when they say you build it they will come, yeah, not so much. You can build it but you're in Siberia and everybody
Yeah.
needs your water but they don't know how to do it because you don't know the business parts. And sometimes I tell people when they ask me, they go, what's your biggest advice on getting into this industry? I go, well, I'll tell you the story about my daughter who's 15, who
Yeah.
said to me a couple years ago, Dad, I think I want to become an actor. What's your advice? I went, don't.
Don't.
Right. But the reason I say that to people is because I don't think you understand. It's like the lottery. You buy your lottery tickets because you keep thinking you're going to scratch or see the
Mhm.
numbers come up and you're going to be an instant millionaire. Well, there's a couple of things. Number one is that you can keep doing and spending the money to do that, but you don't have any control over certain parts of it. You're going to keep
Right. Right.
scratching and spending your
Right.
money. And this is what I want to say that is so important in what you have done with the dojo and so appropriately named because it's not just about striking, it's about
Yeah.
knowing how to take what's coming at you. Is that a good
Yes.
analogy?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great analogy. Yeah. I think so many people get focused on the result. And let me just say this, a lot of what I teach in the acting dojo can be applied to your regular life. I'm a
Hmm.
believer that acting is metaphoric for the lives that we lead. So
Yeah.
what I teach is not just for actors. If you want results, ignore them. Now that sounds oxymoronic, but
Yeah.
what you need to concentrate on is the process necessary to achieve the results. If you
Yeah.
build a bulletproof process, the results will come. And if you look at the process as a chain and the individual links are all empowering effective habits. And if something isn't working in your career as an actor, you're going through the chain going, I'm in acting class, I'm studying, I'm reading, I'm watching films, I'm going out of the weekends and partying with my friends or not getting enough sleep or da da da. Okay, there's the weak link. And if
Yeah.
you swap out whatever the weak link is for an empowering one, that might be the one thing that gives you the effective process to achieve the results. So
Right.
don't I see a lot of people are really good with social media and they're promoting themselves, but it's a lot of smoke with no fire. I mean,
Yeah.
they're promoting something, but they don't really have the really strong fundamentals for acting and auditioning. And so when they get that opportunity, because they're putting themselves out there and getting noticed, they can't deliver. And
Right.
unfortunately, I'll tell you a story about my career. I mean, I don't mind sharing it. Early on when I started did Karate Kid 3, I was a really good looking young guy with a lot of piss and vinegar, but I had just started acting class. And so I went from doing Karate Kid 3 with John Avildsen, who won the Academy Award, to doing
Yeah.
The Outsiders TV
Great
series
work.
with Francis Ford Coppola. And then I did something for Oliver Stone. And then the phone stopped ringing
Uh,
because I reached a point where I started to um, I didn't have enough experience and training for the meetings that I was getting. And I got an audition with Ron
wow.
Howard. And Ron Howard was not only in the room, he was in a chair right here looking at me. And I was auditioning and I was just too green. And he's never had me back.
Yeah.
And he's never had me back, despite the fact that I'm a good friend with his son, with his brother Clint, who worked on Bold and the Beautiful. The point is, sometimes you get one shot at something.
Yeah.
And if you don't create that excitement with your ability, talent, knowledge of the business, it might not come back around. So you
Right.
have to be ready.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more because the other thing when people ask me, they go, "What do you think the key element of a successful career of acting? What are they looking for?" And I go, "They're looking for confidence. They're looking for you to
Yeah.
come in and go, I belong here, and
Yep.
you need me, and I'm not trying to pretend I'm, Robert De Niro. I'm me, Will Roberts, and yes, you've called me in,
You're
and
so
I'm
spot on, Will. You're so spot on. And the one force multiplier that every single person has who's listening to this and who's out there is we have our own authenticity. The problem
yeah,
is not enough people are in touch with their own authenticity. Authenticity and vulnerability are the vehicles that allow an actor to reach the destination that they want to achieve. That along with technique. In life, there's so many things that require more than one specific skill to achieve success. And if you don't master both skills, one without the other doesn't work. If you
right,
understand and you're a terrific actor, but you don't understand the business aspects, you're going to have a lot of frustration and spin your wheels. If you
right,
understand the business aspect and you even if you have the talent, but the talent is not refined and defined, and you haven't sort of identified your own brand, that's not going to work. And I
no,
relate that in the session. I say there's two specific skill sets a successful actor must have. You must be able to have script and scene analysis, and you must have the ability to do emotional transmission.
yeah,
And if you have script and scene analysis, meaning you understand all the relationships and the intricacies of the source material, but you don't have the ability for the emotional transmission, it's like watching it's like watching a really clunky car that knows where it's going to the right destination, but it's belching and farting smoke. Nobody wants to watch it.
right,
Conversely, if you have the ability to generate brilliant emotions, but you don't understand the source material, it's like
right.
watching a gorgeous Ferrari go 200 miles an hour in the wrong direction. You
That's right.
have to have the synergy of both of them, just like you have to have the synergy between, the acting technique and craft and the understanding of the business.
Right. Well, again, I first of all to let everybody know, on Sunday, we have a special deal here. I don't see it now. It's
Yeah,
but
it's for my acting dojo, which is this Sunday from 11 to 2 p.m. Pacific time on Zoom. You can sign up at actingdojo.com, and if you use Canon 20, I'm going to give you 20% off just for Will's friends and audience.
so trying to call me.
I lost you, but oh,
So
okay.
if it was my agent, I'd have to hang up on you. But anyway, and I think we have the same agent. In any
Yeah.
case, but here's something really important. I really mean this sincerely. Is that if and I'm going to be very Gary V on all of you here, and I'm not going to swear at you, but I am going to say that if you are in this to be able to fanboy, or you're in it because you really think that you're the next whatever William Shatner. I couldn't think of anybody else.
William
Uh,
Shatner.
I don't know, but the guy's been doing it. He's 90 something. He's
He's,
still in the
he's
business.
97. He's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the point I want to make here is that it really is a lot about the game of being able to that you have to play it, that you have to know how to do it. Great
Yeah.
case in point is that what you said, and I'm going to translate it into my own analogy is
Hmm.
that I tell people all the time. I go, if you're placing a seed in a planter box out here, and you put it in there and you water it, and you come back tomorrow and you're going, why hasn't it become a tree? Then you're missing the point, because I have this term I call seeding, which is
Yeah.
basically you keep putting things out. But you remember, I'm a little older than most of you, back in the 70s, we used to talk to our plants. Oh, you're
Yeah.
so
Right.
good. You're
Because you get
so awesome.
the
And you're
CO2 of the
amazing.
oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the point is that if you are not cultivating that, and if you are expecting the end first before you go through the work, then you really are in the wrong
And
business.
Will, there's a flip side to that too. If you're out there seeding and you don't understand the business of acting and you're planting a seed on a cinder block, it doesn't matter how much you water it, it ain't going to grow. You have to be planting your seed in a nutrient rich environment to
Yeah.
get the result that you want. It's one without the other. You got to have both.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, really quickly, it's actingdojo.com, right?
Actingdojo.com.
All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
stand
And
by.
guys, it's normally $97 and you get 20% off using the Canaan 20 code, and it's
Yeah.
up and hot right now, so you can do it.
And I just pinned
Thank you, Will.
actingdojo.com. Just really quickly, this is being brought to you by howtoselftape.com. We'll get into that in a second. Thursday, Sean and I are going to be on at 11 Pacific Standard Time, PST, doing an interview talking about his career. So we're not going to give too much away here. I could talk to you for freaking
Oh, me too,
hours,
buddy.
dude.
Me too. Yeah, I
Seriously.
love talking to
I
you.
love, yeah, me too. To me, this is like the equating it to like using ChatGPT. All of a sudden, my mind, whenever I talk to Sean, I kind of go,
That's funny
"Wow,
because I feel that way about you because you have really cracked the code for self tapes. And that's just more important than ever because
yeah,
back in the day when I started, we would drive around the city with a Thomas Brothers guide. For those
I,
of you that don't know what it is, it was like this pages and pages of a grid map of Los Angeles. And every audition would take 3.5 hours because
I
you had to
know,
drive there, do the audition, drive back. And
yeah,
now we do it self
self
tapes
tape,
and on Zoom. So the ability to be effective at self tapes is critical. I'll tell you something, Will. I just produced a film, and we
yes,
saw
you did, and it's amazing
thank
looking.
you, thank you. It's called Body Man, and if you want to check it out, I think there's a trailer on my Instagram. But what I was going to say was we saw hundreds and hundreds of people's actors access and things like that, and you simply cannot watch everybody's material.
No,
And so you're allowing your eyes to look at who stands out immediately. You're going to look at the ones that have really good lighting. You're going to look at it sounds shallow, but when you're producing a film, your job in the casting department is to get the roles you need cast as quickly as possible because you've got 97 other things to do that day. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And if somebody's audition does not look like it's professionally done, it tells me that on some level they are not a completely professional actor, and it scares me to hire them because I don't know how they're going to react when they're in front of the camera and the money's on the line. And so that's why what you teach, Will, is indispensable. And there's nobody, I'm not just saying this, there's nobody I know who does it better than Will.
Well, but I want to say something because you talked to me about this when I said, "Hey, Sean, let's go live 2 days ago or something," and I had said something about self tape because I made an image. You can see it on my Instagram, and Sean's
Hmm.
pinned it.
Hmm.
Is that you're like, well, that yes, but Will, I mean, you do the self tape. Hold up a second. I want to give you some props on this. Is that I don't give a shit what kind of equipment you got. I don't care if your green screen room is
Hmm.
amazing. I don't care if you got dancing guys and girls in your self tapes if you
Right.
can't deliver what Sean
Yeah.
Kanan is doing in his course, this is the whole conversation.
Yeah.
The whole conversation is, look, I get all the bells and whistles and the sizzle and the
Right.
hooks in YouTubes and viral videos, and that is all good in the hood because I've
Hmm.
had this conversation in the last 3 months about the fact that casting directors are showing people like there's a couple nepo babies. They're showing like the one where the girl does the audition in the phone booth, and I'm like, what in the? And they're like, isn't this amazing? And I'm like, no, it's not
Right.
because you're doing it in a situation that no one else can do or
Right.
actually be accepted. So why I'm saying that is that I don't care if you do your self tape hanging from a helicopter that you've rented. The
Right.
bottom line is that if you can't deliver the text, you
It
can't
doesn't
deliver the
matter. It
emotion,
doesn't
the
matter.
transition, you can't do the things, the elementary, and I say elementary very loosely because this is like SWAT training what Sean is giving, or I should say black belt training. I mean, it's the
you,
truth because if you
and
can't
I got to
deliver
give
that
you, I got to
punch,
give you some props though, because didn't you get your role in Oppenheimer by submitting a self tape?
Okay, quick story. So, yes, I did, and that's why I created How to Self Tape. And my teleprompter with voices, because people are like, "Oh, are they AI voices?" I'm like, "No." I spent 6 months trying to develop the AI voice thing, and I'm like, it doesn't parse well. It sounds
Right,
like
right,
crap. There's no emotion. And I have a particular thing I did before COVID because I live 2.5 hours away from here, 3.5 on the way back, depending on what time.
right.
So I literally have this method that I do that I'm calling proprietary on how to self tape that I will show people how to do. And I literally sent in my self tape. And when I sent it in, I'm just saying I didn't have a callback. And I know four guys that had one line in Oppenheimer
Hmm.
that went, "I'm over here." And they went through four callbacks. And I'm like, damn.
Wow,
And I wound up in
wow.
the trailer, and it was because of my self tape. But I did
Mhm.
my method of how to self tape in there. But again, it doesn't matter how sexy you look if you're wearing a parka. No one can see how sexy you are. And I'm
There's a lot of
telling you,
different skills you have to have. There
there
really
is.
are. It's not just one thing,
Right.
you know?
And
And,
the
and I
and then
think
the
the other thing too is,
connecting.
I think the other thing too is that, there's a big difference between loving acting and being someone that does some community theater. And God bless you if you do that.
God bless you.
And it's kind of like being a professional fighter, though. It's like once you make that decision to do that, you are competing with the best of the best of the best who
Right.
take this deadly seriously.
Right.
And I know you do, Will. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And you have to be as prepared as you can be because the competition has never been stiffer. And God knows what's going to happen with AI. But
And the
we all
studios and the streaming. And
and
let, let
this
me
right.
let me interrupt you and say something that I think I'm going to flange off on a different little subject here. But Sean Kanan is, and again, this is not a padding, although we barely get this and rarely get this. But the reality is that Sean, and I mean this sincerely, bottom of my heart, you have been doing this same sort of template of creating, writing, creating, directing, producing, and so on for a long time. And I created something that was a vertical 8 years ago called DNA Dad. All
Or
took
were you
place
ahead
on
of your
iPhone.
time? You were on the way ahead of time
Yeah,
with the verticals.
right.
Amazing.
And but my point is this is that if you think that Sean and I are creating these things just because we have nothing else to do,
Hmm.
yeah. We realized something very important, and you should take this. And by the way, sign up and use the promo code actingdojo.com. What's the promo code
Actingdojo.com.
again?
It's Kanan 20, Kanan 20. Get you
Right.
20% off.
And by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to download this. I'm going to take all the information. I'm going to
Oh, thank you.
provide a
Thank you.
document, and it's going to become an ebook. And I will give it to anybody that comes on
I
here
love
and
that.
says they're
I
doing
love
it for
that.
free. Because here is what we're facing right now. Anybody can get out there in this industry because this is the only industry in the world, as acting, I'm saying, that you don't have to have jack shit. You don't have to be a degree. You can be a lawyer yesterday and today go, I'm going to be an actor. I'm
Yeah.
not downplaying it. I'm just letting you know that that's the way the industry is. And from when we started, Sean, and we are now, auditions I use as a back because I got my SAG card in 85. When I got my SAG card, there was maybe 100 people that were going after something. Now there might be 4,800. And out of those 4,800, maybe 85% of them are not someone that should actually be auditioning. But does it matter? No, because they might look at you or me and say, "Oh God, that guy reminds me of my ex-husband." Bye,
But
and male or
you
female.
know another thing I think sometimes people look at guys like you and me and they see that we've achieved some success, and it's kind of that analogy about an iceberg. You only see the tip of the iceberg that's sticking out of the water, but you don't see the ice that goes 5 times deeper with the
Mm,
training and the sacrifice and the failures is something I talk a lot about in my seminar.
yes, you do.
If I heard this great quote, and I really wish I had said it, and I don't know who to give it credit to, but this guy said, I never lose. I win or I learn. And the
Yes,
thing is, if I looked at every single time that I didn't get an acting job,
Oh
as a
God.
failure, I'd never be able to set foot in another casting director's office. But if you can look at failures as part of your process, not as failures, as teachers, maybe I got to audition for a casting director who didn't know who I was. Maybe I got to prepare for a role that was outside of my traditional wheelhouse and kind of spread my creative wings a little. Maybe I wasn't supposed to get it because I'm supposed to get something else.
Yeah.
But if you start looking at them like failures, what that does is it erodes your confidence next time you
Totally.
go in the room, like you said, and you have got to own the room. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
reading a really interesting book right now by a friend of mine I met in Dubai. His name is Rene Rodriguez. And he talks about the necessity of framing every situation. And by that, I mean, every interaction we have gets framed. Either you're setting the frame or the frame is being set for you.
Right.
And you know, walking into an audition, traditionally the frame is set by other people. You have to figure out a way in a non-aggressive and appealing way to reframe it
Yeah.
that it's your audition and drawing them into you,
Yeah.
because those people are deciding not only are you a talented actor, but can you deliver when the going gets tough,
Hmm.
you know, and are you someone they're going to want to work with for 6 weeks in, you
Yeah.
know, the sticks in Arkansas? There's
Confidence.
a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. A great analogy as well is, and I promise no baseball analogies here, but you're a black belt. I mean, what degree are you? Like seven?
No, stop.
Okay.
I'm a student. Always a student.
Well, I would say the man who's in the iconic film of Karate Kid. Yeah, whatever, Sean. Anyway, my point is this: is that here's my point. You're in the ring. I don't care where you're from. Where are you from originally, Sean?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, I'm south side of Chicago, so
Yeah.
same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Point is that
Midwest.
if you get in this industry, if you get beaten in the face and you go, oh gosh, and you go, I don't, then you're not in the right industry. I hate to say
Right.
this, but
Right.
this
Right.
industry is a lot of beating in the face, and you
Oh
have to be
yeah.
able to reframe it, like you said. And look, again, when someone says to me, they go, well, how do you guys and gals deal with all the rejection? I go, I do it, I let it go. You
Yeah. You have to.
cannot mentally. I mean, I would say that the industry of acting is probably one of the strongest mentally and also weakest mentally if you're
Yeah.
on that other
Yeah.
side of the coin. If you can't turn and burn this thing and make it work for you, then really, truly don't do it. Go to
And
work at Starbucks. They'll tell you exactly what to do and
what
what
to
button
do.
to
Yeah.
press.
You know,
I
and
don't
and
mean this to be,
that philosophy has really helped me working in daytime television because,
yeah,
you know, when you do a film, you maybe do 7 to 9 pages a day.
yeah.
We shoot probably 85 pages a day. Now
Wow.
that doesn't mean I'm in all of them, but I'll generally be in.
No.
I almost always have 15 to 20 scenes a day.
Right.
And when I shoot a scene, if that scene doesn't go exactly the way that I hoped, and if I'm allowing my mind to linger on that as I go into the next scene,
We're
I'm
done.
crushed. I have got to
Yeah.
do that scene, let it go, and understand that with the voluminous amount of work that you do in daytime, you cannot hang on to it.
No.
And the ability to do what you just said with auditions prepares you for that. So funny. Do you remember the old saying, Will, that you always do three auditions? You do the one in the car on the way to the audition, you do the audition, and then the one over the hill coming back. You know, all actors are like that, but you got to
Yeah.
discipline yourself
Yeah.
not to live in the past. Once you've done it, it's done.
Right. Well, you have to be, again, you have to be flexible. I can't emphasize the fact. Here's a great example, Studio City.
Right.
You called me in. I'm if when I go, by the way, I will, and you'll probably be next to me because we're going to do that. I have this like Doc Holliday look now. I'm going
Oh, I
to
love
do
it.
Doc Holliday and his brother, and you're going to wind up saving the day. Don't worry.
I love
Uh,
it.
but here's the thing. The thing is that when I was asked by you to do Studio City, first of all, it will be one of the things I
And you
mention when I
crushed
get
it.
my well, when I get my Academy Award, I promise you, and you
Oh,
get yours.
and
I
you,
will
I'm
be
sure you
mentioning.
will.
I won't be mentioning many people, I promise you, and it's not for any
Thank you.
particular reason. We all have what you do as an actor. You tend to have small groups if you're smart, because
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
Yeah.
everybody calling me up telling me how they wonderful the next movie they got, or they want to
Right.
call me and say, "Are you anything I can do?" But here's the point: you called me in, and I'm going to tell you. I don't know if you know this. I'm sitting there. and I had one scene. I had one scene as a studio exec. You got to see it on Amazon Live. It's still there, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And
So
just
you
so
go
people
see
don't
it.
know, this is a series that I created. It was my baby, and
Great
we
series.
we won the Emmy for outstanding limited drama.
Yeah.
Uh, Tristan Rogers, who we just lost,
Yeah.
he won for outstanding supporting
That's
actor, and we won lighting. And
beautiful.
it's terrific,
It
man. It's
really
really, really
is.
good.
So
Yeah,
Sean says to me, he goes, "Hey, Will, I got a role. I want you to play studio exec. You know, me too." I go, "Oh, I got you." So I came in, and the cool thing is Tim, the director, and they're all standing around, and they're getting the shot set. And Tim's now wife, Natalie,
Natalie. Yeah.
we're getting ready to do the scene, and I'm sitting here in a round table, no
Hmm.
table, but of like 20 other actors, and I'm looking around going, Maria Horsford, all these Tristan. Okay, oh my God, I'm sitting here with 20 of the top daytime soap people, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
to myself, holy crap, I'm trying to remember what my name is, and these people remember
No.
85 pages a day. And the cool thing, here's what I'm getting to. I go in, I do this scene with Natalie. I see Sean. I see Sean's wonderful, amazing wife, Michelle. And by the way, there's a side note on that, on Michelle and my wife. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But the point is that and talking to Tim, and they're going, and Sean comes up and he goes, "Hey, man, do you mind doing a couple more scenes?" And I go, "Oh, of course I don't."
Right.
And they gave me what, two or three more
Yeah.
scenes,
Yeah.
and we totally ad-libbed all of
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And I have to tell you, I believe sometimes that's the best work you can get
Sure.
out of an
I do
actor.
too.
But
I
you
do too.
wouldn't be able to get that if the actor wasn't
Yeah.
trained
Yeah.
in confidence, in knowing
Absolutely.
that I have
Absolutely.
my tool set,
Yep.
and I'm doing it. So my side note on the wonderful women that we have in our life is that this is the reason why I say for 46 years, when I got into Cirque du Soleil, I finally just have a kid. She's now 15. She's amazing. And my boy, who's 12, they're both amazing. But people are like, damn, dude, you kind of wait. I'm like, why are you giving me that look? They go, why did you wait so long? I go, because I'm not selfish, because I watched my parents have kids and they couldn't afford to have them. And I
Yeah.
made the
Yeah.
decision that very, very difficult decision, Sean, we all have to make is just like, this is not just a job. This is not just a career. It
Yeah.
is
It's a
literally a
life.
lifestyle. And
Yeah.
if you can't get in there and make that happen,
Yeah.
most of the time you have to do it alone. And if you can find your Michelle and I can find my Megan, and they're
Uh,
going to be sitting around and let us, and my wife coordinates if I got to fly somewhere when I'm speaking like yours. And, she doesn't do as much now because she's a professor. But my point is that good luck finding someone like that
uh.
because in most cases, an actor should be left alone, should
Well,
be
so
seen. And,
I have some job security because now I'm sleeping with the director because Michelle, Michelle directed our new film and she produced and co-wrote wrote it
no.
with me. So
Oh, I can't
that was
even
probably
have that one.
the smartest business thing that I ever did.
But
But
but wait though. See, this is where I'm saying you're so progressive, and what we do is progressive. Like this is not something that we woke up. Sean woke up. I woke up and went like 2 months ago, going,
right,
"Well, it looks like all the kids are making their own things now. We should
yeah,
probably try to get into that." We've
yeah.
been doing that since day one because
You
we
know, I got my
realized.
SAG card when I was 15 in Pennsylvania. I didn't even know what SAG was. I got hired to do a commercial, and they said,
Wow.
"Well, you got to do this Taft Hartley thing." I knew nothing
Me
about it.
too.
All I knew was I was getting paid a little bit of money, and it all went to SAG so that I could join the union. But I've been a member of the Screen Actors Guild for 45 years.
How? When did you get in?
When I was 15, I'm going to be
What year
59.
was
I'm
it?
59. It was in 76, 81.
Oh wow, okay. Well,
Yeah.
look, same thing. I can tell you the commercial. Nissan, Judith Pillay, who's a dear friend of mine now. Still, she was the main casting director for Jodie Foster, a lot of
Wow.
people. She's amazing. And she goes, Will, I want you to do this commercial. I know it's a background thing, but it's a union commercial, so it'll add up. You know what that means. I go, I don't know. I was just over there doing a bunch of non-union stuff, going back and forth to the Bay Area because I lived
Yeah.
up in Monterey. And she goes, go there. And I remember that we had it was a church, a small church, and there was a male and female, and they were getting married. And back in the day, and I know you know this one, if anybody was doing anything that was a major thing, the industry said, "Oh, if they're not from New York or LA and New York, then
Right.
we're
Right.
going to
Yeah.
hire." And so they brought them in from LA to
Yeah.
do the
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah.
But I was the best man, and the director said, "Hey, come on, yeah." He's an Australian. He said, "I want you to do me a favor. Touch the truck like this, and the thing gonna pop up like that, and you're gonna do it." And I go, "Great." 2.5 months later, I'm working at the magic shop that I worked at in my teens. So I was like 17 or 18.
Right.
And I get this call from New York going, "Hey," my mom said, "Hey, they're going to call you. They want to talk to you about something." I go, "Okay, great." They go, "You were Taft Hartley because you were noticed in the thing." Can I ask you, do you remember your commercial, what it was?
Yeah. It was a regional commercial for Union Bank, which was a bank in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Mine was Nissan, and I made $25,000
Wow. Well,
back in the day.
I think I made about 4,000.
But
So
back in the day when we didn't have 95 anyway, bottom
yeah.
line is that you're in great hands. You got to do Sean's the
The acting dojo.
actingdojo.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Please join. It's intimate. We probably only have 20 people. It is a chance for you. I talk a lot in it, but it's organic too. We have a conversation and it's a chance for you to ask questions specific to your experience in the business, where you are,
Yes.
and really finding some solutions maybe to some of the things that are posing challenges to you. And I'm also, I promise you, I'm going to teach you some acting stuff that might seem very outside of the box. I was fortunate enough to train with the late great Roy London and with Ivana
Oh.
Chubbuck, and Roy studied with Uta Hagen,
Oh wow.
and Uta Hagen studied with Stanislavski.
Wow.
So I got some pretty good stuff to share with
Yeah.
everybody, and for me, I learn as much as I teach. This
Right.
is what helps me stay sharp, by working with actors at various stages in their career. So I invite you all to join. Please sign up soon because it is filling up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we're going to be together
Yes.
Thursday
Yeah. Let me go over
because
that.
I got to jump off. But let's
I know you
finish
do.
telling
Me
you.
too.
Yeah,
Thursday, we're going to do at 11 a.m. We're going to talk about stuff. I'm going to tell you about how to self-tape.com. I have a full whole actor suite of all the different tools. Sean has given me
yep. It's amazing. It is
I,
amazing.
I
This is
appreciate
going to
it.
revolutionize the business.
Go do your thing, Sean. You know, I have so much love for you, brother, and
You too,
Michelle.
brother.
I hope you're
Well,
all doing well.
I'll see
And
you on
we'll,
Thursday.
yes, you will. Bye bye
Okay.
now. Get
Bye,
out of
everyone.
here.
Thank you so
See ya.
much.
All
Okay.
right. All right, everybody. So, Sean, again, go to his site, actingdojo.com. Sean, you can hit the get out of here button, I think. Oh, there you go. I think he's leaving. Yep, okay. Yeah. So, anyway, go to howtoselftape.com. I don't know why I can still see him here. Let's get rid of Sean. There we go. Nope, I don't see it. Sean, you're still on. Anyway, all right, everybody, check it out. Of course, howtoselftape.com is up at the top here. Let me see if there we go. He's gone now. Let me put this here for you. It has the most amazing thing about what I created. I literally started creating this about a year and a half ago. Is that it has self-taping, teleprompter with voices, not AI voices. I'm looking for what my thing says here. I'm just going to put it in here. It doesn't matter. All right, everybody. We'll see you out there. Have fun.